Today, folks, I got a real treat for you. Nik Richie.
Thank you, Brad. I'm excited to be here.
Hey, if you guys don't know who this dude is, you haven't been around very long. I can tell you, if you can think back of a website called The Dirty, that's what this dude does. Now celebmagazine.com.
Yeah, I sold The Dirty 5 years ago. Got a good exit out of that one. I was the guy that pretty much started the internet over there. You know, when it, I don't know, 15 years ago. But I'm excited to be here today, dude. I feel like, you know, you've been doing a lot of good things for a lot of people.
Thank you.
And I feel like it's our time to be together. And thank you for putting me on the main stage.
Sure.
And I always appreciate you and your knowledge. And I'm hoping that we do so well that you just keep blowing me up like a hot chick.
Well, dude, you're the connoisseur, you're the maestro of getting attention. Like you're a marketer at heart, I would say.
I think, you know, for me, I look at everybody and I think everyone's a genius. Like, I think everyone just doesn't realize what their genius is. And when you can hone in on what it exactly is, for me, I can see people and realize, you know, if they're full of shit or if they have potential. And if they have potential, then I like to draw it out of them without them even knowing, because it kind of gets me off. Like, if I saw a hot chick and I say, hey, you know, you're 2 procedures away from greatness, I'm going to tell them. And I think people don't like how authentic I am.
Did you say 2 procedures?
2 procedures, sometimes 3 procedures. But, you know, a jawline goes
Hey, what
a long way.
what kind of procedure do a lot of them need that you meet?
Well, everyone's different, you know. There's this new thing, you know, it's called a BBM. Do you know what a BBM is? Brazilian butt lift. Right now, that's the new hot trendy thing. It doesn't really do anything for me, but a lot of women are lifting their asses. And it's unfortunate because natural beauty has kind of gone out the window and everyone's going for plastics, which to me makes no sense. But a strong jawline, if you get a nose job, you got to get the chin. Those things got to be packaged. And if you do it correctly, the only issue you're going to have is when you have kids. They won't look like you, but at least you'll have a great partner in life that's probably wealthy like Brad Lee.
Dude, so let's go back before The Dirty.
Okay.
Where were you? Who were you? Because you're an entrepreneur. You got a lot of shit going. You deal with all the celebs. You're down there in LA rubbing elbows with the big dogs. How'd you get there?
So, like every story of a successful company or luck or timing, it comes down to romance. For me, I was chasing a chick. I lived in OC, Orange County in California. I met my first wife and she was living in Chicago at the time. I wasn't going to move to Chicago and she wasn't going to move to Orange County. So we mutually found a location in Arizona, which was Scottsdale. And at that time, I didn't know what Scottsdale was. And I got a job in credit card processing. I was a normal dude. I was a cubicle warrior.
How much were you making?
I was making probably like 60, 70 grand. You know, it wasn't anything crazy. But I was also 26, 27, you know. Dated this girl for 5 years, married for 1.5 years. Didn't work out. But I was at that stage where, you know, I felt like all the pressure, like, hey, I gotta, you know, close this deal with this woman. She was a great person. Haven't talked to her ever since. But that was when I saw Scottsdale and I saw the people and I saw the vibe. I created this site called Dirty Scottsdale, and it went viral. And I'm like, wow, this works. Let me try Dallas. Let me try Newport. Let me try LA. Let me try all these markets.
And when you said you started it, what'd you do to start it?
I knew nothing about the internet. I was working.
What year was this?
This was 2006.
Okay.
And at that time in Scottsdale, there was this company called GoDaddy just starting to come up. And I was like, wow, okay, well, let me see what this internet thing is. So I went to their website and bought this $29.95 package where you get, a template website. Put a badass Lamborghini on top, and I just started showcasing. And I was underground, and no one knew it was me because I didn't want to lose my job at Chase Bank, right? So I'm like literally with my buddies in our little cube. We're just talking trash on the girl we saw at the nightclub the night before. And then I was really good at making names for people. So all these people became celebrities. And there was a girl with long hair. I called her Gorilla Girl. It went viral,
Why'd you call her that?
Because just her hair was so long, her extensions were so long that it was just so crazy. She looked like a gorilla. It was like the hair was just too crazy. Then there was Krusty. We called her Krusty because she had a MAC force field. Remember MAC, the makeup?
Yeah.
So these girls would layer this makeup like 2 inches thick. So we just called her Krusty. So there was names I came up with. But remember, this is a different time. You could get away with a lot of this. Today, I couldn't call someone that. I called a girl Canary because she had like a, that beak-looking thing. But these people turned into instant celebrity. So I was like, wow, okay, well, with reality TV is starting to pop off. Let's do reality internet. And mind you, there was no laws on this at the time. And then I remember I got my first bill. It was like $2,000 for a server bill. And I had to go to GoDaddy and be like, guys, like, I don't even know what the hell I'm doing. I didn't know millions of people would be coming to this site. And then eventually I had to find investors. And at that time, the .com thing started popping off. And I remember I had so many markets that I had to find one domain, and dirty.com wanted like $1 million. I'm like, and it was porn at the time, and I was like, okay, that's not happening. And then the dirty.com was for sale for like 30 grand, but I called the guy and said, hey, I'm starting this cleaning company. The most I can give you is like 3 grand, and then we negotiated and I got it for 3,500, and I switched everything over to the dirty, and the lights just turned on. And then it went to like Australia, Canada, everywhere, dude.
How were you pushing it, promoting it?
Nothing. It's just all word of mouth.
But someone had to know about it first. You just told your friends, and friends told friends.
You have to understand, Yelp was just starting too. Like, there was no place on the internet where you could find your neighbor. Like, you wanted information on Brad Lee, I'm just searching Brad Lee, and all the stuff pops up. And then you're reading the comments, and the comments is where the truth is. You might have some fakeness, but anyone that knows you hiding behind a computer screen, it was inventing trolls, And this was the start of the internet age, where evaluations and MySpace was still around. MySpace sold for 850 million. I remember when MySpace sold, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna do an evaluation on the dirty just to see where I'm at. And I was like, I don't know, I was 29, turning 30, and we were worth $80 million for just the bathroom wall, because that's what we were, and I was just the platform. And then, I would say my funny one-liners and say, what I think of a certain situation.
Or a certain celeb.
And then we would break stories. The coolest part about it is that I took on more risk than like a TMZ. My fact checking didn't have to be as rigorous. So for me to have, a Kobe Bryant affair, a Donald Trump affair, the girls were coming to me like, hey, I slept with so-and-so. I remember when Ashton Kutcher cheated on Demi Moore, the girls came to me and they're like, hey, I just hooked up with Ashton last night. I'm like, no way. I don't believe it, but it doesn't matter. It's not up to me. I put it out there, and it was true. And then they got divorced. So I saved his life. So those are the things that like happened in that time period. But now, like, I look back at it, I learned so much on evaluating people and who people were, because you have to understand, I was curating about 10 million people a month. So
how would you find the winners?
Just on appearances. Whoever the coolest kid was in the school. You know what I mean?
How many photos did you have to go through?
On a daily basis, probably like 1,000 to like 2,000.
And you got a lot of people in trouble. Meaning,
I would-
like they go and look and bam, oh shit, you're on the dirty.
Yeah.
But hey, that's to me, dude. Back when I used to check it, dude, it was like awesome only because you could see people out doing their thing. Now, I always wondered, is this true? Because you don't know if it's true or not. But the way you guys presented it, dude, people freaked if they showed up on the dirty.
Well, you have to understand too. Google was just popping off, and we were the number one ranked domain authority because we were getting so much traffic, and at that time, if your name was on the site, you would be the number one link on Google. So job opportunities were at risk. But listen, for me, I was like, okay, not that I was playing God, but it felt a little bit like, hey, I had control, I had power. At the end of the day, it was power. But then as you get older, you evolve. I realized like this is not who I am. And the people that know me, this is not who I am. I like to have fun, and the site started originally as comedy, and then it just got out of control, and that's just manpower on my side. I just couldn't keep up with it.
How'd you make money?
Advertising. So, I think at the end of the day, from an entrepreneur standpoint, for me, I'm an ad guy. Programmatic wasn't around back then, and so now, we were still doing door-to-door sales. It was direct sales. And a lot of it was Vegas. The nightclubs were probably our biggest advertiser, but we crushed it with diet products. Anything in the vanity space, people that wanted to look like you that was the money.
When you ended up selling out, did it lead up to a sellout, or did you just one day say, I'm selling out?
No, I always told myself that I could possibly do this thing until I was 40. But then I got diagnosed with multiple sclerosis at 37. And when that happened, I was just like, okay, well, I need to start focusing on myself instead of focusing on the world and other people's lives. Like I was just kind of like, okay, and not that it was a karma thing, but for me, I was like, it's time to be a father, like a real father, focus on my marriage, my second marriage, and try to be a real person. And what happened is it was culture shock at the beginning. I would say the first year or 2 years, it was kind of tough because you're involved with everyone that you don't know. You have all these fake friends that, I love fake friends. It's fun for me to have conversations with people that have no idea who you are. But I was so used to it because that's what I did for a living. And for everyone to just disappear, it was kind of tough. But I was retired for, golfing and smoking cigars and trying to be whatever I thought was retirement for 2 years.
You don't smoke cigars anymore?
Not that I don't. I do occasionally, but not religiously.
You used to?
Yeah, I would say so. Like if I was golfing, but it's not like I'm not a big drinker either. Like I'll socially drink, I'll socially smoke cigars. It's not something that like I can sit down and just do myself. It doesn't do anything for me. It's like gambling. I can't gamble either.
Okay, so you're running the dirty. Everything's freaking rocking. You're making money on advertising. Did you go from 60 grand a year to what? How much were you making, taking home in your pocket?
Well, you have to understand too, I was getting sued all the time. So I was spending like $5 million in legal. So I was never really making money. And the more money I made, or it looked like I made, I would get more lawsuits because everyone was just thinking, oh, this is, a lottery ticket.
And they'd sue you for putting them on the dirty?
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever lose a case?
No, 50-0.
So you're like a Mayweather.
And I made sure they paid my legal fees. I won a massive case that set precedents for YouTube and Facebook and all these guys, like the Larry Flint of the internet is what they called me, which I don't know if that's a good thing, because he was in a wheelchair and he wasn't like the coolest guy, but yeah, I set precedents. I set the case law for CDA, and all I remember is this last lawsuit. It got to it was against a Bengal cheerleader, Bengal, whatever they call them, and it got Bengal. They're called Bengals or something.
Oh.
Something weird, Kentucky. So yeah, I got to one of the highest courts. There's 3 judges, and all I remember is like, dude, my life's over. I lose this, it's it's gonna be a shark frenzy of everyone suing me, for millions of dollars. I ended up winning, but only because I had Facebook, Yelp, Amazon, Google. They all came to my aid, and they were probably pissed because like, hey, this is gonna be the guy. But they all their lawyers came in, and they probably spent, I don't know, $5 million and wrote, letters, basically, was it called affidavits or something like that? I had a fucking monster legal team behind me that they paid for, and we just came in, we crushed, set the case law, and now YouTube's still alive, everyone's still alive, and the only thing that sucked is no one ever sued me after that. So I felt a little bit of buyer's remorse, like I was just kind of like, what the hell? I woke up one day and there's no lawsuits, there's no legal fees.
Why wouldn't that be a good thing?
Because for me, I liked the legal battles. Like, it made me feel relevant.
It was like playing chess.
Well, every time I got sued too, it was all over the news. So it was massive traffic for the site. I would go on Dr. Phil and talk about this stuff, and it would just be massive traffic. There was probably a 5-year period where I liked being the bad guy, because it just brought in so much revenue for advertising and traffic. So it was cool, but it was honestly just all learning. But when I stopped getting sued, I was like, okay, well, this train's over. Like, it's not fun anymore.
Yeah, but did you, like, one day you're making normal money, next day this thing blows up? Like, did you ever look in the bank and say, like, holy shit?
No, because it was never about the money. Like, for me, it was never about the money. It was more the power. I liked the control, that's what got me off. But then when I retired, I was like, okay, shit, like, let me start other businesses. And then I, from having that leverage and being that person and making those relationships, I was able to make a lot of money, So going from, I was just paying myself a salary at the Dirty. I was making like $100,000 a year because I was so used to making 60, 70 grand that being a millionaire wasn't like my goal. I always thought, okay, well, I'll sell this thing and it's just kind of like a savings account. So that was my thought process.
But you eventually sold it.
Yeah, eventually sold it. Everyone cashed out. And,
big numbers?
I would say so.
Like when you sold, when you had it valued at 80 million, was it north of that?
No, because the internet fell off. That was at inflated rates. Like, people were overvaluing anything on the internet.
Don't you wish you'd have sold it then?
Yeah, of course.
Do you think back, like, damn?
No, because I was 30 and I was just traveling, doing appearances, and I was out. Like, everyone finally knew it was me. I was getting off on the celebrity aspect of it. And, when someone tells you, your site's worth 80 million, you're like, okay, cool. That means it's going to be worth 200 million in 5 years, So that was my thought process. But I've learned so many things from all my mistakes and all the things I did in my youth. That was my childhood phase. I call it my 30s, that 29 to 39.
Dirty 30s.
Dirty 30s. And I did 186 appearances across the United States at bars and clubs, and it was a fun time. It was a party, but the reality is it molded me into a man. And when I say that, like, I have this acronym that I use. It's called HER, and I call it HER because, like you, we both have this weakness, and it's called women, right? We like to fall in love. Like, that's our security, right? So I took a step back. Now that I'm single, divorced, my 3rd wife is probably out there, but I'm not ready for that. I needed to go inwards and be like, okay, well, I need to be a man. Like, I need to be a gentleman. I needed to basically live the things that I preach. So I created this acronym. It's called HER, H-E-R. I'll go through it briefly. H stands for humble, E stands for enemy, and R stands for Rolodex. And for all your Bradley bombers or whatever you call these guys.
Bomb squad.
Bomb squad. I apologize. I've heard your guests. They're not that good. So this is big for us. The bomb squad's going to like this. And you guys can steal this. This is literally, I'm giving you gold right here.
All right.
You live by her, you'll be fine.
What is it?
And you're going to love this because it's great for you. So H, right, in her is humble. The only way you're going to become a great father, which is what I care about, that's my number one, is to be humble. You have to do the things that your children see and want to emulate. Whether that is donating money to a homeless person, right? Flying Southwest, doing little things.
Flying Southwest.
Flying Southwest.
What does that mean?
Bro, flying private, once you fly private, you never want to go to an airport again.
That's right.
Right? You need to do those things once in a while to realize where you're at, right, in life, and get a connection back to your humbleness, back to your heart. So for me, that humble word is what I want my kids to instill. So that's my number one. E is for enemy. I've learned through life and businesses and making money and having relationships, you always need to have an enemy, no matter what. And even if it's not that person's fault, you target that one person. If you just target one person, you don't need to have other enemies. You put all your anger and all your emotions into that one person and you annihilate that person.
Annihilate them how?
War, lawsuits, whatever you have to do to destroy that person, you have to do that.
Who's your enemy right now?
I'm not going to disclose it, but I feel sorry for that person.
Do you have one?
Of course. I always have one.
Okay, so you want to be humble, and then you want to get an enemy of some kind.
An enemy of some kind. Find that person that bothers you. Find that person that's bugging you and destroy them. And I'll tell you why. I know it's crazy, right? The humbleness is more family. The enemy is literally your person that you do not want to be in your life. You do not want to associate with that person. It's the constant drama, the constant lying. So for me, I look at it as the person that creates so much emotion in your life that you just don't need. So you need to eliminate them. And once you eliminate that person, you eliminate the next person. A lot of people just do this thing where they just ghost, right? That doesn't take care of the problem. You have to show the power in the situation. So what I learned, obviously through all my years, is how to end somebody, right? And to create some goodness, you need to have war. People don't go to war for fun. They go to war to win, right? So this is part of the winning mentality. Once you win that war, then you have peace. You don't have peace because you just go up to somebody and be like, hey, let's be best friends. And then you talk shit behind their back. It's not how it works. You have to live an authentic state of mind. And this is how you eliminate anxiety and why I have an enemy. Anxieties come from lies, built up lies. We accumulate so much information every single day that we just don't even need, right? It just builds up. Then what we do with that information is we think we have enough syntax to know what that information means, and then we regurgitate that information. And it's like playing telephone. You tell me something, it's not really what it is. It's kind of what it is, but it's not there. You're actually lying to somebody. Then that person goes and lies to another person. So it's literally a full effect of just constant drama and darkness. So if you can basically harness into your enemy and all that darkness and give that to that person and take away and just tell the truth, constantly just tell the truth. If you don't know something, don't give it out to somebody. Anxiety's gone. And this goes back to happiness too, because we all are just on this fucking search for happiness. It's not a real thing. Happiness is this illusion in our mind. If you can live an authentic self, that's the closest you're going to get to being God or feeling God, because happiness is not achievable. It's just that's not achievable.
You mean permanent?
Permanent happiness is not achievable. You're gonna make money. Money solves all problems. Yes. You're gonna buy shit, but you're gonna get over it. You know, you're gonna work. You're gonna build something. You're gonna build an empire. You're gonna sell it. You're gonna make money, but it's not gonna make you happy. You're gonna be with a hot chick. You're gonna have kids. Not gonna make you happy. You know what's gonna make you happy is knowing that you can win. By being authentic, being your real self, and anxiety goes away. You can sleep. It's crazy, you know. So that's the E in enemy: is you take all that darkness and you literally put it onto one person, and you know in your mind, if you can destroy that one person, you're gonna win. And you know who does this better than anybody?
Who?
Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is the meanest person in the world.
Really?
Kobe Bryant used to do the same thing. Meanest person in the world. They would choose people to become their enemies and make up stuff in their heads. I'm not making up stuff. I literally know, like, hey, this is a bad person. It's my target for the next month or whatever. Okay. The last one of her, where H was humble, E is enemy, R is Rolodex. This is the most important thing I've ever learned in my life. Creating relationships, building your Rolodex is your key to success, no matter what you do. Not if it's sports, you know, cooking, like whatever it is. But in business, obviously, but building relationships at a level where you can rely on people, you'll never have problems. You'll always be one phone call away, and you know this. You'll always be one phone call away from success. Having the Rolodex gives you power, gives you heart, gives you every emotion you feel, because you can actually call on someone, and you can also know who your real friends are or your family is, because technically your family is your Rolodex as well, right? And to build an empire, you need to accumulate a 10-year Rolodex and put these people in categories, in tiers. You know, tier A is going to basically be able to help you raise $100 million. Tier B is going to help you physically, exercise, health, what you eat. Tier C is basically your emotional support. So you put this Rolodex together of the most powerful people in the world, and you can call them best friends, but there's no such thing, because your best friend's always going to screw you over anyways, right? But you will figure out eventually who your lifelines are. And I'm at that point right now. I'm creating Richie Media Corp. I started in January, and my goal now is to raise $100 million. My goal now is to buy the entities that I used to compete with, and control the media market behind the scenes. I don't want to be the face guy anymore.
Why not?
It's because I don't need to. I'm 43 years old.
You're like the oldest celebrity I know.
Well, they say that about you too. No, but I truly believe that, you know, I have celebmagazine.com. I have a lot of cool joint venture projects I'm doing right now. I'm investing in different things that are really sexy and cool. I'm coming from a place of being a chief executive officer, not a douchebag officer, you know? So for me, if I can just live by my acronym, her, and make my R so strong, invincible, dude.
Yeah, I agree with the R. Not so much the humble, only because if you look up the definition of the word humble, it says to have a low opinion of one's own importance.
Yeah, but I'm not going out saying, hey, I'm banging a whole bunch of chicks, I'm, you know, doing this,
Yeah, but that's not the opposite of humble.
Well,
to me, most people hear the word humble and it's like, you know, it's this nice thing. But when you look up the definition, it says to have a low opinion of one's own importance. I believe if you want to succeed, you got to throw that out the window, and you got to walk in like you owned the place and roll out like you sold it.
Yeah, but I think
you act that way.
I think you can do both.
I know, but you act that way.
I know, but there's moments that are not on Instagram in my life, that aren't on social media, that aren't on. It's not something I brag about. When I'm going and I'm helping kids in Haiti, or I'm like doing all this liberal shit.
Yeah, but you're saying that's humble.
I think that is.
I disagree. I don't think so. I personally don't, only by the definition. the general sense of the word or meaning of the word that everyone thinks that's what it is. There's nothing big about me. Oh, it's all you, man. Hey, you guys take the credit, and hey, oh, he's being so humble. I get accused of being humble all the time because people are like, damn, dude, look what you've built. And I'm like, it's really nothing. Like, I haven't built anything yet. And they're like, oh, come on, you're being humble. No, I really believe that where I'm going and where I'm at is a long ass ways away. That's why I want to pick your brain. Frickin', what would you do if you were me? Because you'd use this shit like to do some massive stuff. To me, humble is the opposite of what you should be by definition.
Okay, but from a family standpoint,
Yeah.
I look at it like, what's your number one in your life?
Mine?
Yeah.
I would say, to reach my destination.
So you put your destination before your children?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not, well, again, you make it sound like that, but yeah, like where I'm going comes first. Now, if my little girl has a recital, fortunately, I'm an entrepreneur, so I can go do what I want when I want. So I just juggle priorities. So my kids need me. Like one time, I shut down for 10 days, took them to Disneyland, and just traveled with them because I could see that they were needing a little dad in their life.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I also don't believe children need as much time as parents think they do.
No, I agree with you on that.
My kids don't want to spend all day with me.
I agree with that, but there's also actions in your life that you have to instill in your kids because they're clones. They're us,
Yeah.
right? So
I agree with that.
They're going to be cocky. They're going to see their father and they'll be like, hey, my dad's a badass. I got to go try to be a badass. And to their fault, they don't need to be, but they're going to make a lot of mistakes because of you,
Yeah.
So if I'm not humble in presence and I use it, maybe the definition is not what it needs to be. Maybe it's my own definition in my mind, but
I'm gonna have you change your
change
your acronym to GER.
GER? I think HER is better.
Her sounds better. But that's the only thing, humble. But I want to go back to the enemy part.
Yes.
So you're supposed to zero in on somebody. Like I'm trying to think as you were saying that, who's my enemy? Who would be my enemy? I don't have any enemies.
That's not true.
Who's my enemy?
That's not true.
Who's my enemy?
It doesn't matter. Your enemy is yourself, but you're going to take who you don't want to be and find that person. And even if that person is not Brad Lee, like a clone or a wannabe, you target them.
Destroy them?
Destroy them.
Destroy them how? Let's teach the
financially.
Kids, let's teach the kids what destroying someone looks like and how do you do it.
Well, I'm not going to go and tell everybody my magic tricks, but there's ways to destroy people financially that will put them into, the start over point in their life.
Sue them.
Sue them helps, but
Well,
there's
dude, that's a spendy deal.
yeah, but if you look at it from a perspective of they have to hire someone as well. Let me tell you this. So Dan Blazarian sued me, right?
Why?
Because some girl said she got some sort of STD from him, and I can't talk about it too much because we signed some whatever. It had nothing to really do with me, but he just, he didn't like that this affected his sex life.
Yeah.
And he sued me, I think it was for 50 million. I forgot what the number was. But I remember we were in mediation and we were sitting across the table from each other. And for me, it was a life moment because I was like, okay, I'm going to learn something today from Dan. Because everyone has their genius, right? Everyone has that little thing. What am I going to take out of our conversation? What am I going to take from Dan? So Dan sits across the table from me and he goes, I don't care if I win or lose. I'm going to throw $500,000 in the fire, so you have to burn $500,000 too. And I sat there and I was like, shit, he's right. We're literally sitting here wasting time. But you still feel that, So I use that on my enemies. So what I took from him, I used on someone else and it worked. So I'll take all these little things from other people and I'll use it. It's no different than playing sports. It's no different than war. There's going to be an outcome and there's going to be a winner. And I think the biggest part of life is becoming a winner, and that is, for me, is the most powerful thing. So whatever I have to do to win, I'm going to do it. And telling you the secrets of other things is probably not the smartest. And that's probably something that, you and I will have. Like I said, you're going to start calling me like a hot chick. Those are conversations we have in private. But yeah, I think having an enemy in your life is great.
How do you build the relationships to get that Rolodex? Any tips there?
That was, I'll tell you, building the Rolodex came from being one of the pioneers of that internet age in those 2000s, making those relationships, because you have to understand, everyone evolves and grows. I made so many friends. Some made it, some didn't. But in that circle, I kept up with the ones that I believed in. And I don't want to name drop because I feel like that's douchey, but my Rolodex is super strong. I'm one phone call away from whatever you need, And for people to rely on me to connect them, it pisses me off sometimes. I call them contact hoppers. I hate those guys because they just kind of cut you out of the equation. But at the same time, they're calling me, right? So you almost like you have favors, you have credits. So I use those credits to, okay, if I'm going to give you this person, you're going to give me this person. So I do it that way too. And then I'll set up dinners. I'll have power dinners where I get all these people together and we just spit ideas.
Yeah, but dude, you make it sound easy. There's people listening right now that are going like,
it is easy.
How do
Brad.
I just call up powerful people and invite them to dinner?
And
when you do,
it's easy.
You don't take them to dinner at Denny's.
Okay, let's be honest, right? People like you and I, we're lonely motherfuckers. We don't have a tight, big circle that we're just hanging out with dudes all day. If you're consistent enough, like I have an intern that blows me up. He blew me up probably every day. And his persistence was like, hey, I'm going to give you a shot, We read our DMs as much as any celebrity or any entrepreneur says they don't. We read fucking everything. We might not respond to everything, but we read everything.
Comments.
Everything. The hate is what I love, because that's the business. That's where you make the money, right? And that shows that you're on the right track. It's similar to getting sued. But I think, honestly, people reaching out to us, we respond, and look at you. You have people don't know you're an entrepreneur. You have businesses, like dropping bombs and all this stuff. This is fun. This is basically what you do to just connect and build your Rolodex. I think it's a waste of time for you. I think you could be making 25 million just by helping one person instead of trying to help millions of people.
Introduce me.
I will. Once you're in my Rolodex.
Give you a damn sliver to deliver.
I don't need envelopes anymore.
A little piece for your niece.
No pieces for nieces.
A little fraction of the action.
I'm humble.
A little tad because I'm Brad.
I'm humble.
But if you introduced me to someone that said, oh, dude, man, you can help me, laid out $25 million, like I'd be like, dude, you need to help me. Because if you got $25 million to just hand to somebody, to talk to them and
it's not
hang
to talk.
out with them and
if you're
them,
coaching a guy that's already making 100 mil, what's 25 million? What's 25%?
What would
of
I
the
be
action?
coaching them on?
What do you mean? You're just in their life. You're guiding them. You're giving them like for instance, I go to therapy, right? I don't think I need therapy. Sometimes I think I'm smarter than the therapist. But what the therapy does is it literally re-energizes me for the week. I get out all my bullshit, and then I can focus on the things that matter that will help people within my company make money. The therapy that I'm paying for is literally just someone on the other end telling me who I am, giving me confidence that I know I can go and just ask some guy. Like I'm asking for, I had a meeting the other day, I asked for $10 million. They didn't even flinch. They don't even think about it because my delivery is so strong. They feel the confidence. They feel my energy. They're like, oh shit, Nik Richie's like, he's not messing around. Like he's serious. I am serious. I'm going to raise $100 million and I'm going to turn that $100 million into $1 billion. You know why? Because being a millionaire is nothing anymore, dude.
That's a fact.
Nothing. Any Joe Schmo can be a millionaire.
Billionaire's the new millionaire.
I had one of my buddies is a billionaire, Alki David. He's crazy, but I love him. And I asked him, how do you become a millionaire? This was way back. I don't know, maybe a decade ago. He goes, what do you mean? That's the easiest thing in the world. You find out how to make $1 and do it 1,000,000 times. So now, what's the difference? You figure out how to make $10 and do it 100,000 times. $100. You just add the zeros. It's just math, right? So for me, I'm like, okay, well, now I have to stack. I did one site. What I really need is 12 sites. What I really need is 5 media companies, already established, already valued, and we put them together. We build them together, we stack them, we SPAC them, we IPO them. It doesn't matter. But getting to $1 billion is a lot easier than people think. And for me personally, by the time I get to $1 billion, it's going to be meaningless because the next guy is going to get to $1 trillion.
You
Right?
know, the difference between $1 million and $1 billion is quite a bit.
Yeah.
Like they say, if I gave you $1 a day every day, you know, it'd take like, 11 weeks to give you $1
Yeah,
million.
but you and I are not in the dollar business.
I know, but listen, if I gave you $1 a day every day, I forget what it is, but it's like 11 weeks. If I gave you $1 billion, it would take 32 years. Like that's the difference between $1 million and $1 billion.
100%.
It's a big difference.
No, that's doubt is what that is.
Well, it's a big difference. I didn't say it's impossible, motherfucker. I'm with you. I guarantee you I will end up a billionaire only because when I said my destination's the number one, that's my destination. Because I always wanted to be a millionaire as a kid, right?
So does everyone.
I know, but I didn't realize that, by the time I became one, that it really isn't what it used to be. It's not, I know 20-year-olds that are millionaires, literally.
Yeah.
They got over $1 million in the bank. They're asking me what to do with it. I'm like, dude, you don't put it in the bank. Okay, there's a lot of things you can do with it, and it shouldn't be in a bank. But they're just crypto, NFTs, internet marketing, driving people leads that are crushing it. People ask me all the time in college, what should I do for a living? I'm like, dude, study marketing. Marketing, getting that attention, dude.
Yeah.
Because if you can get that attention, man, everything freaking flows. Like a brand, a personal brand. I will probably do 300 to 500 of that billion, 300 to 500 million in the next, I'd say 3 to 5 years max.
Okay.
All based on the personal brand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started a financial company, sells insurance, life insurance, helps people, right? I like to help people. I can show someone how to make a couple $100,000 a year if they're struggling. They just got to be willing to work. I put the training systems together, all the systems together. I launched it. I put it on my social media for like 5 seconds. Boom, 6,000 people joined.
And then,
Out selling insurance for me. Now, dude, they're helping people. They're helping themselves. And the brand itself that got me those 6,000 people, it took me 20 years to build Lightspeed to be worth 8 figures.
do you put your things in boxes? Like, do you have a 1-year plan, 3-year plan, 5-year plan, or 10? I have a 1, 3, and 10.
Yeah.
Because I know it takes 10 years for a brand to be official. Like, literally turns that corner where there's residual income no matter what you do. So my advice for you, and not that you need advice,
I want it.
you're at that pinnacle where you're going to get to that 10-year mark where you're either going to be like, hey, life is mundane and I'm sick of this shit, let me go do something else. Or you're going to be like, okay, that 10-year plan that I had worked. This is going to make me X amount of money residually forever. What is my spin-off plan from the 10-year plan where now I have one thing that really works, which you're kind of doing, and saying, hey, now I can create 5 spin-off subcategories of that plan, and those are going to be my 1 year and 5 year, or 1 year and 3 year. It's going to make you money quickly, but also now you went from a 10-year company, right, to another 10 years from now, you're probably going to have 10 of these subcategories that one's going to pop off big time. And that 10 years, you're going to be at 20 years and you're done.
Yeah, I'll be way old.
It doesn't matter if you're old. You're going to make your B. You're going to make your B.
I guarantee you that age is, starting to come down. Like, the technology they have, shit, you could be 100 years old eventually and just still look normal.
My worry is that you want to make money for your kids' kids. Because you think that if they get in a fucked up situation, the money will cure that problem, which it will, but it takes away from their humbleness, it takes away from their family and what their value of life is.
Well, again, I agree if you give it to them incorrectly. But, you know, I wish my dad would have given me some shit.
Everybody does.
I know, but like when people make fun of people with, you know, silver spoons in their mouth, it's because they're spoiled little fucks.
Yeah, but you
And they-
can't.
and
You
they
came
act
from
like dicks.
You came from nothing, right?
Yeah, but I mean, and I'm glad I did because
So did I.
I would say the humility you're talking about, it taught me a lot of that. But my point is, if I could go back and press a button and say, I wish my dad was worth $500 million, I would press the button. Now, if I turned out a spoiled dick, dead on cocaine, and you know some sort of sexually transmitted disease, well then, you know, he gave me too much. In other words, he didn't give it to me right. I think you can give kids money, but not spoil them. I think.
Well, then you have the code, because I'm friends with a lot of kids in my Rolodex that come from billionaire fathers, and they're all pop collar wasp degenerates. Like they have no concept of life. They have no concept of relationship. They hate
Struggle.
They hate people. They're racist. You know what I mean? And they're entitled.
Don't you think that's a reflection of their parents?
100%. But look what you're saying. Like, you and I are chasing a game. If we don't make time for our children, and it, dude, I'm not talking, you know, I'm talking 30 minutes, dude. I'm talking coaching. I'm coaching now.
Yeah.
You know,
That's got to be
my
fun.
my heart out with you is because I got to go coach a baseball game, right? That's my humble. That's my like, hey, wow, like I'm teaching these kids something. They're picking off me, and they're gonna become something. And that little piece that I'm giving them, priceless, right? What I don't want is to get into the mentality where I have to financially support everybody so much that I'm gonna be broke inside. And currently, that's where I'm at, that crossroad right now, because I started RMC. I decided, you know what? How am I going to get my hunger back? I said, hey, I'm going to put a salary, and this is crazy. I know it's not crazy. I put a salary on myself of $250,000, right? And it's fucking hard, dude. Like having money and trying to find your hungerness again, it's hard. But that's the only way I can do it. I have to be broke, and if I'm broke enough, I'm going to make money quickly. And I'm going to want to get back to the point where, you know, and I'm sure you're the same way. If I don't have the expense, there's no motivation to make it. I need to have my nuts usually is like 150 a month or whatever it is. It's not anymore. I'm trying to cut it down.
Well, you still live in that beach house because you're always at it.
Well, yeah, you're always invited.
Where is that?
It's called
Undisclosed location.
It's called Off the Grid. Undisclosed location.
Yeah, but it's right on the beach. Like, dude,
I'm on the beach.
I know. It looked like that one time it looked like you were boarding up.
Yeah.
Like, has waves ever come over?
Yeah, they hit the house.
Damn,
Yeah,
dude.
dude.
Doesn't that scare you?
No, because it's just a house. It's not mine. I don't own it. I'm renting. You know what I mean? I'm proud to be a renter.
Yeah.
Because if shit breaks, it's not my fault.
Lately, everybody's saying rent, don't buy.
Well, everything's too. I would love to buy this place, but it's $5 million that I just don't want to commit to right now, because who knows where the market's going to go. The inflation is just
That sounds cheap, dude, for that location.
It's pretty on par with that location. 5 to 10 million.
I mean, you go out I assume it's your back door. You go out your back door, dude, there's sand.
Yeah, I'm on the ocean.
Yeah, on it.
I listen to the waves every single second. That's the only thing that calms me, but I'm a bachelor. It's on my bachelor pad. I have a long stalker list at that gate.
So going back at, right in your height of celebrity interactions, what are some crazy stories that no one would ever believe?
Crazy stories.
Like the other day, I had a guy named DJ White Shadow. You ever heard of him?
No.
Cool dude. He produced Lady Gaga, a whole series. He's badass, Pitbull.
Mm-hmm.
But he's just this cool dude that was telling me stories, smoking weed with Gwyneth Paltrow, all these stories of all these celebs that just freaking mesmerized an audience. You have to have a bunch of those.
I have those, yeah. The first time I ever saw cocaine was in a bathroom with Lindsay Lohan, you know what I mean, in Miami, just
When she was like
a lesbian.
hot.
Depends on what you think hot is, but
No, I mean back when she was like on top, because she
Yeah,
was
yeah,
on
yeah.
top for
Yeah.
a minute, and now
Yeah.
you don't hear shit from her.
she's probably making more money now than
What is she doing now?
she's in Europe. You know, she's living life and hanging out, doing appearances, dating rich dudes. Because you have to understand, Europe is like, you know, Hasselhoff is still cool out there. So you bring Lindsay Lohan or Paris Hilton, they make 15 times more than they make here because they're so behind on getting information from America. And anything American is like, wow, you know, they look at Lindsay's of the world and like, you know, they're just starting to see Parent Trap. You know what I mean? Like there's still novelty to it. So their agents monetize more out there doing these movies that we'll never see or ever hear of. But yeah, I've had that. I think a lot of the bigger stories I've had, like weird stuff I've had, is just breaking stories. I remember when I broke you remember Anthony Weiner, Carlos Danger, remember that, the politician? And it all connects because he was married to Hillary Clinton's aide, Huma Abedin or something. I forgot her last name. Mm-hmm. Say Huma Weiner, because she was married, right? So I just went ballsy, dude. I called the bluff and said, this guy hooked up with this chick, and the only picture I had was a picture of his toes, you know, that he was sending D pics to this chick. And I looked at a picture online, I matched his toes, and I just went with it. I'm like, this is the guy. Next thing you know, full on press conference, CNN, The Dirty, breaks, you know, sex scandal with politician. He ends up losing the election, but it comes full circle because it led to the investigation with Hillary's emails, because they had communication on there, because they were investigating him for child pornography, right? And it was on Huma's computer, which they shared with Anthony, and it ended up costing her the election with Trump. Like that, all that drama happened because of this guy. So it kind of went full circle, but you know, those stories to me get me off. It's like, wow, like I went ballsy and it worked. And it was everywhere, dude. I had probably 50 million people come to the site in one day, you know, just to see this guy's toes.
Dude, so you Google, YouTube, and those major, massive internet companies, freaking, you save them.
Saved all of them.
Saved them.
I saved Zuckerberg big time.
And now you literally saved America by getting Hillary Clinton not elected.
Some people say that, yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Dude.
And then I helped out Trump on the Stormy Daniels stuff too. You know, and
where are you getting the information from?
The girls.
So the girls,
all these mistresses.
How do they know you though?
What do you mean? Why wouldn't they know me? They're trying to save themselves, you know, or they're trying to be famous. You have to understand too, like the internet changed. Everyone wanted to be private, and then all of a sudden one day they're like, we cannot be private anymore. It's done. And they're like, okay, well, let's embrace it and let's try to be famous and become an influencer or become, you know, someone cool, or let's, you know, show up my family that I'm going on this cool vacation, or, you know, how I look in a filter. The internet changed, and I think it's partly my fault, because I literally, once I saved these companies, they went gung-ho. And from a business side, since I'm in advertising, programmatic ads and Facebook and Google and all these companies, they're making all their money off advertising. You know, they're listening to what we're doing and what we're buying, and they're figuring out how to capture those Fortune 500 companies and help them monetize and taking a cut. So you look at the business that we're in, that's really what we're in. We're basically being used by these social media companies to help them make money with these other product companies, you know?
What's RMC doing?
RMC currently is basically, we partner with Cargo, which is one of the largest ad agencies in New York. And we're basically looking to take distressed properties that have namesakes. Like I really want to buy TMZ. I want to buy some of these bigger entities and basically give them a little bit of a cleanup, cut some labor, actually help them monetize, because everyone's overspending. You know, they're dinosaurs. So they're still going in the archaic mindset of like, hey, how do I make money? And they think it's content. It's not content. You can overkill with content, oversaturate, where it actually lowers your CPM, which is, you know, viewers per million. Everything has like a price tag to it. So I look at a site and I say, hey, you know, I know this site's making, you know, per page view, say $50. So how do I get more organic traffic or more visitors to this site through social media, through different aspects to triple the revenue, double the revenue, and then cut down the labor and get it in pure profit? Then it's pure cocaine. Like we're literally just, we can walk away from it and it makes money no matter what.
Well, how do we get that attention? If somebody's listening, they got a small business, how do they leverage the internet to get attention?
I think the biggest thing right now that seems to be really working for everyone is you find your keyword. Like for you, for example, say we're promoting this show. I would go to Google and I would see how much it would cost to buy the keyword bombs. Then that would be basically, say it's, you know, I'm making up a number, say it's $1 a click, right? Then we would bid on that. I'm sure no one has it. You would get it for as cheap as possible. And then you would literally have the number one line item. Yeah, I would say ad, but everyone clicks the first thing. They always do. And then you're having a brand new person that has nothing to do with anything, has no idea who you are, coming to your website, your platform, your podcast. Keywords right now are the number one driver. Everyone thinks, hey, social media, but Facebook and Instagram, which are the same company, Meta, they're starting to really mess with the algorithms because they're trying to force people's hands to spend money with them. So the days of us sending traffic just through our natural platforms, and we see how much our followers are, but the reality is it's not. It's probably 1% of what that number is, the vanity number. Capturing those people is really hard unless you pay them. It's the new form of extortion.
Yeah. They'll suppress you until you pay them.
Suppress you till you die. They're the enemy. They look at you like her. So why don't you write a book? I did write one 10 years ago in 2000 and what was it? It's hard, dude.
What's it called?
Sex, Lies, and the Dirty. And I kind of closed that chapter in 2000 and I think it came out 2014. But that was just tough to write that. That was more just getting it out of my system and talking about, and the book did really well. And I'll tell you why I don't want to write another one. I'm not a big reader. I think people that are looking for self-help have already lost. And I think books are for prisoners. You know, you're going into a jail system. You're reading a book because you're trying to figure out how to get out of there, how to save yourself. I think if you're looking to save yourself and you can't find it within, you've already lost. People are coming to people like you or me for advice because they look at us. And I'm telling you right now, Bradley can read as many books as he wants. He's not going to change. You're never going to change who you are. You might take a little thing of something, but that's not going to help you monetize. What's monetizing is yourself. Your own ego is driving you into a better place, right? So for me, I don't want to be that guy ever that's going to be like, oh, you know, this guy's like a self-help guru. And the crazy part is like, those people are looked at as like, and I told you this before, like why I like you is because you're real. People see all this, but this isn't what you do. This isn't your business, right? This is your marketing. But there's people out there that it's their livelihood. You know, this is how they make their money. They're basically stacking numbers. It's a yoga class, you know? So for me, I just never want to be that person.
What do you think of those peeps?
I think they're con artists. I think they're scams. I think everything's a scam.
I was thinking about, I bought a website called verifiedgurus.com.
Okay.
Why don't we blow that up?
I don't know. I feel like that would make too much money.
Like verified gurus. Like in other words, before you hire any coach, any mentor, anybody, buy a course online, go to Verified Gurus. And
I
see
like
if,
it.
See if they're full of shit.
I like it. It's like the Better Business Bureau, and you know how that turned out.
For the coaching and mentoring space.
Yeah.
I own Verified Gurus. Is that a good one or no?
It's a good one. It's a 2-word domain.
I always go down and buy a bunch of domains. I've got a shit ton that I forgot about, and I look through them. I'm like, oh, that's a good one. I need to do something with that.
Yeah.
But
let's make a site. Let's
I think
do a joint venture. See, this is why I want to meet with you, because this is business. This is Rolodex.
Well, I think the new website are phrases. Like I want to be a star.com.
It's too many words.
It's so easy to remember, though.
It's too many words.
Well, let's look in 3 years and see if there's a lot of phrases out there.
No, there's going to be none.
I'll bet you're wrong.
Phrases?
Phrases.
No.
Like I want to get rich.com.
Yeah, but
You
you're
know,
going to
hey,
have...
if you want to do this, you want to do that, go to blankety-blankety-blank.com, which the blankety-blank is the memorable part. Like, I want to be rich. I want to be famous. I want to be a star. I want to get in shape. You know, I want to be buff. I want a beach body. Like, whatever it is, the result will be the domain name.
Yeah, but...
Like, a guy came the other day, he had this name for his company. He's big in barbecues, makes good money with barbecues. And I said, well, dude, I wouldn't want to go find a executive, whatever his name was. I go, you know, I'm just looking for a badass barbecue. And I said, you should like change the name to Badass Barbecues, and I'll bet you'd go viral. He left. About 2 weeks later, he sends me this logo, says Badass Barbecues, looks kick-ass.
Yeah, but that's 2-word.
I know, but he went to the website, Badass Barbecue. Badass Barbecues was available.
That's amazing.
Hey, and here's another question I have for you. You know how when sometimes you look up a domain, it's not taken, but it's premium. Who gets to decide? Like, that's not fair. I don't like that shit.
Yeah, but I think
if someone didn't buy it, it should be $29 or $9 or whatever the rest of them are.
That's GoDaddy. That's these guys setting prices on something that's...
Who gave it to them?
I don't know how the ISPs, I don't know how that works, to be honest.
Because I looked up one the other day and it was like, you know, it's available, $50,000 premium or something.
Yeah, but I think someone owns it, and they're just being the third party seller. Yeah.
Well, you think there's value in domain names?
The right ones, yeah. But the problem is like everything else, that's a 10-year plan.
Like Celeb Magazine.
That's a 10-year play.
But I mean, people can remember that.
Yeah.
Celebmagazine.com.
Yeah.
If someone goes there right now, what do they see?
Celebrity stories, lifestyle, brands, things that are a little bit more affluent, travel. The website really targets the search engines and what people are actually looking up and what they want to read about. And it's exclusive content, meaning that it's
Who's
actually
writing it?
I have staff writers, editors. So that's my thing. It's like, I want to get to, not counting how much money that I would like to make. I have a really good partner in Chris Berlin right now. I'm preceding. He's the CEO of the West Coast on Ferrari. So I want to get into that world too and get into that upper echelon of lifestyle brands. But the goal is to have 300 employees, and create newsrooms again and start doing real news, dude. The good part about fake news, it's starting to show that people are just ready for real news. People are ready for
real news.
Authentic.
That's my brand.
Real news?
Well, everything I do is real.
Do you have realnews.com?
No. I'll go check it out.
We're wasting time.
But real financial, real solar, everything's real. Why? Because I think, when everyone asks what's the key, I always say, look, first of all, it's not a key, it's a combination. Like, everyone has their own combination to what success looks like. You got to figure out what that looks like first before you can go get it. You got to know what it looks like. But the bottom line, shit, I forgot where I was heading with that in the beginning. What did you say?
What did I say?
Yeah, right before.
I said, if you have real news.
Oh yeah, real. So everything I did was real, because I believe that ultimately the key, if there is one, is to just be authentic. You were talking about it earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Just be yourself and be real. But so many people are afraid of other people's opinions that they alter their activities, they alter their thoughts, they alter what they say, and they go through life just white noise.
Yeah, because they're subliminally brainwashed by that white noise to think that if they hear that type of white noise, that's real life. We're in zombie mode right now, dude. Like, and you and I are probably the bad part of the zombie mode because we want zombies so we can help them or guide them or make money off them, which is business.
Or all the above.
All the above.
Yeah. You know, I'll tell you, I spent a long time trying to get rich for me, and I didn't really care about anybody else. And then one time I helped this dude.
Humble.
Watched his whole life transition. And I'm like, man, I want to help other people make money. So I quit my job and I went and started helping people make money. Not even thinking about myself anymore. I was thinking about, man, I need to help people make money because I got the ability to, you know, share some knowledge with somebody, and they go from minimum wage to 15, 20 grand a month, which, dude, I mean, you can't get out of the rat race at minimum wage.
100%.
So I'm like, man, this is cool. I'm going to go help people. And that's when the money started coming. So I realized the key to doing it, the secret is really, instead of worrying about making money, just worry about helping people.
It's called humble.
If you focus every day on helping people, the money will not ever be an issue. You just got to focus on, how do I help people? And the more people you help, the more money you'll have. So just wake up every day. How do I help people today? Where are problems that I am, you know, capable of solving so I can help people? And that's where the money comes in.
So here's my thing too. It's the why, right? Like, why am I doing everything? If you look at every single thing you do, why am I buying a Rolex? You know, why am I sitting here with you? And you just take a step back and you analyze the why, and you take the good and the bad part and you just focus on the good part. That's when you start waking up to epiphanies. What you just said is your genius. You know, you finally figured out how to be in a place where you know how to control your genius. And when you do that, the sky just opens, dude, because you're like, wow, like, this is what I'm supposed to do. And then all these seats get filled because you're basically attracting these people, you're manifesting these people to come into your life so you can give them that little piece that they'll take away, and they'll be like, holy shit, Bradley, you know?
The real
authentic.
Bradley.
And what does that do? It cures anxiety. That's our number one thing, is like, everyone's worried about the next bill, the next this, that. And I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're a millionaire or you're making minimum wage. That millionaire is paying just as much, you know, on a monthly nut, and he's stressing about making 200 grand so he can pay his car payments, his 10 car payments, whatever it is. And this guy's worrying about his Uber bill, right? Living off overdraft protection. It's all the same. It's all relative, you know? The money is just part of it. Yeah, you kind of want this lifestyle, but you keep going up, you have high class problems. They're not real problems, but they're still problems. This person is literally having top ramen, and he's the happiest motherfucker in the world, right? Because
some of them.
I think.
But you take that guy and you put $20 million in his lap, it don't make him unhappy.
No, it makes him a degenerate.
No, it doesn't.
He has no idea.
Dude, money doesn't ruin people. Did it ruin you?
No, because
it sounds like it bettered you.
No. It bettered me because I earned it. It's different.
Yeah, but when I say hand it, in other words, I'm trying to make sure people don't get the impression that money makes someone a degenerate. If someone's humble and happy and nice, eating top ramen, and they're truly happy with their life, and you throw a bunch of money at them and they come into some money, good people just get better with money, in my opinion. Bad people with money will be even worse broke.
Better looking, though.
What do you mean?
You have money, you're better looking. 100%. You're buying clothes, you're structuring your jawline, you're buying a shaver. Like, you know
any good jawline structurers in Hollywood?
The new thing right now is threading. Threading is really cool.
I don't know what that is, but like, I got to get this dialed in somehow.
Yeah, you just need to. You can lipo that out, but it hurts.
Well, right now I'm on a program, so I'm gonna wait till I'm about 8% body fat. Then I'm gonna look at what I look like. Then I'll go figure out if I need to get some shit done.
Bro, there's some
from what did you call them? Procedures.
Well,
I'm a procedure away of being a fucking movie star.
You're at least 5 procedures away.
Which ones?
What do you mean? You need a full body sculpt. We got to send you. We need
I'm
to
doing
send
that
you,
manually right now.
No, dude. We're
Oh,
sending.
yeah.
We got to send you to Colombia, and
No body sculpt. What else?
you're not going to do body sculpt.
No, I'm gonna build it.
It's not going to work, dude.
Yes, it
At our
fucking
age,
will. I'll bet you.
you're
I'll
gonna-
bet you.
Yeah, but you're going to have to shoot some
How about a
really
public, how
good
about a
HGH.
public? It doesn't matter what I got to do. It's called eat right, work out, freaking do what you got to do. I'll bet you in 4 months from now, I can show you 6-pack abs.
We need more than 6-pack abs, though.
No, you don't. If you got 6-pack, dude, you're in shape.
That's not true. You know what I've learned? Because as soon as I got divorced, I was like, oh, I hit the gym. I got ripped. I'm like doing all this stuff. And the girls like the dad bod. Like the girls like this stuff. It's so weird. Dude, I'm telling you.
Again, that's like money. They might like the dad. In other words, they don't mind the dad bod, but they prefer
It's a different
tone,
culture.
a lean machine.
No,
And in my opinion, dude, nowadays, you know, that's part of your allure. Like, you cannot freaking say.
Don't say allure, say facade.
Well, it's not a facade.
It's a facade.
Not if it's earned. You can't buy that shit.
Brad, I rather smoke a cigar, eat a nice steak, get fucking fat and show it. You know what I mean? Like that for me is more living than you telling me, hey, we got to wake up at 5 a.m., lift, do abs, do all this work, get on a rubber ball and roll around like a weirdo.
Hey, people are gonna love what you're saying, but I gotta say, dude, to be ready mentally and physically is far superior being in shape.
So you're saying you exercise to stimulate your mind,
Yeah.
but it's not for your body.
No. It's also for my body. It's also for my brand.
It's the
also
benefit.
Well, I don't like preaching unless I'm freaking doing it myself. In other words, like a lot of people come to me for advice. I'm telling them, get your ass up, get your blood pumping. Why? Because it does.
It stimulates the mind.
It does.
I agree.
And the better you look, the better you feel, the better you do. Period. So like if someone came to me honestly to coach them and they were going to do everything I told them to do, they would be up and they would be exercising daily. They don't need a 6-pack. They don't need 7% body fat.
Correct.
But they do need to be healthy. They do need to be in shape. And they do need to be fit. They do. They just do. Why?
Because you want to hang out with them.
Because
better looking.
Well, not only that, but that's another reason. Because better looking people get more opportunities. That's a fact.
100%.
People in shape get more opportunities. That's a fact. It doesn't mean fat people can't. It just means you'll be better off in shape. Like right now, if I said to you, paint your perfect picture, you wouldn't be picturing yourself a slob with a cigar eating a fucking steak. If your perfect picture, you'd picture yourself freaking toned and healthy. Maybe not 6-pack and buff and bodybuilder, because I don't want that either. But I definitely want to be sleek, slender, look good in my clothes, feel good, feel the energy of a freaking, I still feel 20 years old.
I used to call them +2s when girls would get breast augmentations, because if they were a 6, they would automatically become an 8, +2s. And I would always say, and I was one of the biggest pushers of breast augmentation. I look back at it now and it's still the same. They open doors, I say, because when you have that, it's automatic attraction, right? Like for guys anyways. And girls, it kind of like puts their symmetry aligned. And you and I, and probably the rest of the world, will look at that person twice instead of once. So we called it +2s. So I think you're right in that regard, but there's also the reality of becoming the Godfather. And the Godfather makes sure everyone's taken care of at the table, but he feasts. He feasts like a champion because he's earned it. So if you're at a place in your mind where you think you need to have a 6-pack, bro, you have serious wrong issues, because that 6-packs might get you laid a couple times. But dude, then you're a slave to it.
Yeah, but I disagree. In my mind, it brings me to one more level. Why? Because I've always procrastinated. I've always freaking avoided the work, avoided the pain, avoided the discomfort. And that's why I think I'm sitting where I'm sitting. Like, I need to freaking go do the pain, face the music, earn the shit physically. And then I think it'll take me to another level financially and in every other category.
So you're saying you think?
I'm pretty sure, but we'll see when I get there.
Pretty sure.
We'll see.
So you're not 100%.
I'm not 100%.
Because I'm sitting next to you. You've made it. I'm sitting next
I
to
haven't made it.
you. You've made it and I'm sitting next to you.
Where's my jet?
What do you mean?
I don't have a jet.
You could have one if you want one.
It's getting pretty tight. You know,
Well,
those things are
Right
spendy.
now they are, but they'll drop.
Well, I can tell you this, bro. Compared to where I'm going, I haven't made anything yet.
Correct.
I've done well. I've done better than most of the people in my family. I do better than most people, but I don't compare myself to most people. I compare myself to myself, and myself needs to get off his fat ass, quit being a freaking slob. Like you said, I need body sculpting. I don't want people fucking saying that. And guess what? You only need body sculpting if you don't want to do the work.
Well, body sculpting is everything. Like you need.
Yeah, but once I get in shape in 3 or 4 more months, I'll be in the shape that I'm going to be in. Because you're right, dude. I always say I call it ranch dressing. I'm not giving up ranch dressing. Like when I eat the 99% fat-free turkey bullshit I got to eat, I'm throwing fucking
Tastes terrible.
hickory honey sweet barbecue sauce on that shit.
Yeah.
Someone says, "Oh no, you're not gonna," dude. I'll get as far down as that goes, but I'm not eating lettuce plain. I'm having ranch. I'm having barbecue sauce. I will enjoy steaks. I'm gonna go keto when I'm done. But you ever been on the keto diet?
Yeah.
Dude, that's the best diet in the fucking world when it comes to eating. You can have everything damn near, just no bread and basically no sugar.
Which is all food.
I know, but like, have you ever had a freaking hamburger with just the lettuce? You don't miss the bun at all. It's freaking delicious.
That's a lie.
You don't need. It's not a
That's
lie.
a lie.
Dude, I would prefer the bun. I agree, but you barely miss the bun.
Bro, the bun's the whole
You
point of
just
the
caused.
package.
You just caused 100,000 people to stop dieting and stop working out because what you said.
I caused 100,000 people to have a moment of happiness.
Yeah, but what you said ultimately is going to give a lot of people permission. Because people try to look out and try to validate what they think by other people. So there's been a lot of people being like, "Well, fuck, dude, I just want to have a bowl of freaking Cocoa Puffs," and then society says don't, and then Nik Richie gets on drop bombs and says, "Dude, fuck all that shit. I'd rather eat steak, smoke a cigar, and kick back." And there's 100,000 people that are thinking, "Yeah, I agree with them."
Well, this goes back to this. There's no such thing as the ultimate happiness. You could work out till you're dead. It's not going to make you happy. But you're going to have that moment of eating Cocoa Puffs and you're going to be really happy in that moment. It's going to be gone, but at least you're authentic. At least you're true to yourself. And it's your mind telling you like, hey, you really love this stuff. Yeah, it's probably poison for you, but what isn't? Everything's poison.
Yeah.
Social media is poison. Everything we fucking do is poison. Embrace it. Embrace it. And if you don't really like it, find that enemy. Send them some Fruit Loops.
You want to make a side wager?
I would love to.
Simple, just a G, just so it's friendly.
Okay.
And then in 4 months, come back on here, and I'll freaking take off the shirt.
I would love that, but I don't.
And if I'm buff, if I'm in shape, if I'm like, damn, dude, he's lean, you owe me $1,000.
Okay, but I need to see before picture.
Oh, I'll give you some.
And it needs to be non-photoshopped.
I don't Photoshop shit.
Oh, Photoshop's for liars. I know.
Dude, I don't Photoshop shit.
Well, you better not.
When it says the
you're
real,
100
when it
years
says,
old. Dude.
Listen, when it says the real Brad Lee, I would look like a fucking idiot. Just like I wrote a book recently called The Hard Way.
Yeah, I know that.
Dude, everybody and their dog told me to ghostwrite it. I have big name people saying, dude, just hire a ghostwriter and then stick your name on it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, how in the hell are you going to say you wrote a book that you didn't write?
Okay, but
like I wrote every word in that book.
Yeah, but you had an editor.
What the fuck does that mean?
No, I'm just saying, like it's pretty much the same thing.
It is not, dude. A ghostwriter writes the book. If I'm a ghostwriter for you, I'm gonna ask you a bunch of questions, and then I'm gonna go off and I'm gonna pretend I'm you, and I'm gonna write the whole thing, and then you're gonna review it, and then you're gonna alter it a little bit because maybe I was a little bit off, and then we're gonna send it to an editor that does corrections and spelling and all that, and then it gets published.
Did you self-publish it?
Yeah.
Okay, well then that's different.
Yeah, so what I did is I got out a freaking plain piece of paper and I wrote and wrote and wrote every single word. When I sent it to the editor, she had two corrections. spelling and punctuation. 2, she didn't change a fucking thing. Every word in that book is mine. Just like the dedication, which everybody loves. It says, this book is dedicated to the only 2 people that matter. You for reading it and me for writing it.
Well, you're a better man because I dedicate it to myself. That's it. Because without me, there would be no book. So.
But someone paid to read it.
That's their problem.
You forgot to thank the reader.
Who, if someone's reading my book, right? They're literally in this mode in their life where they're like fascinated about something that I did or this era. I don't care about
Where do
that.
you get your information if you don't like books?
What do you mean? I don't need information.
You do.
No.
Are you nuts?
No.
Do you know why we do what we do?
You do what you do because you're taking people from a level that are lost.
No.
Looking
I'm
for
talking about
answers.
people in general do what they do because they believe what they believe. So if you're trying to change what you're getting, you have to change what you're doing.
I know, but
Would you agree with that?
No, because people don't change inherently. You might change 10% of them. 10% of them.
No,
they
people
don't change.
People change.
Brad, your body looks the same as it was last
It did
week.
not. I'll bet you $1,000 it didn't. I got freaking DEXA scans showing the progress. I've only been doing it 2 weeks, but like right after this, I got to go up and eat. Right? I eat 6 times a day. My body is in a progression right now. Before you'd have been correct.
I'm just saying that sounds miserable.
But listen, people can
you're
change.
Slave.
You changed.
You're a slave.
Did you change?
I evolved. I wouldn't say change. I said I just.
Evolution is change.
I would say I'm the same person. I see dead people still. Like I can still, look at someone and be like, hey, I don't like this, but I keep it within myself. I don't announce it anymore. I know how to control my superpowers.
And you don't read any books.
No.
You think it's dumb.
No, I don't think it's dumb. I think books are for prisoners.
Prisoners.
And inherently prisoners are looking for answers. They're looking for.
So you don't need any answers or guidance or help or advice.
Why?
Well, to avoid potholes and challenges.
Why? Challenges are part of life, dude.
But what do you mean?
You want challenges. How are you supposed to grow as a person if you don't have challenges?
If you're going to start a business and you want to reach 10 million in a year and you don't ask anybody anything and you get there, everyone says, hey, good job, good job.
No, you're asking me to read a book.
A book? Not like fucking Moby Dick, bro.
No, bro. It's like anything else in your business. You don't have an expertise on that, whatever that is, you hire that expert.
Well, I'll give you an example. Alex Hormozy.
Okay.
Did very well marketing, made himself $100 million. He wrote a book, told everyone exactly how it's done. People who bought that book that were struggling, about to go out of business, now they're making 7 figures because of that book. They read that book. They would never get to hire him. So they read the book. Not only that, when people want to change what they're getting, and most do, they got to change what they're doing. That's the truth. You can't get the different results doing the same shit. So you have to change what you're doing. In order to change what you're doing, you have to change what you believe, because the reason you do what you do is you believe what you believe. The only way to get new beliefs is to get new information. And and if it's like, okay, I agree with that because you have to, or you just want to debate because that's a fact. Then the question is, well, where do I get my information? You can get it from the fucking media, which is all bullshit. You can get it from freaking mentors and coaches and people that have done it before you if you're smart. Because it's funny to me that people seek information from somebody about something they've never even done because they have an ad about it. But if somebody's done what you want to achieve, they've already achieved it, and you go to them and you say, hey, what would you do if you started all over, and how would you do this, and you get that new information, it will change your belief system, which then changes your actions, which then changes your results. So all I say is you need new information. I don't say books, but books is a good source of information. So are podcasts like this one.
I don't listen to podcasts either.
Well, you should.
I don't.
I'll bet you if you give it a chance, you're gonna come back in 4 months when you pay me my $1,000, and you're gonna say, dude, I started reading books and I was mistaken. Because dude, there's some good information in books, and you don't have to take it just because you read it.
I'm not doubting the information. I think, like I said, we're oversaturated with information, everyone has an opinion about everything and everyone says they know the answer. What I'm saying is find the expert. And if I can't afford Alex, find the person who studied Alex, get him for cheap, acquire that information. I'm not saying, hey, I need to be an expert in every single field.
No.
Because what you're telling me is you're basically saying, okay, well, if you want to get into
Well, see that you just
car
gave,
sales.
Yeah, but you just gave someone information.
No.
So you just changed someone's thoughts. Like, hey, wait a minute. I don't need to be the expert at marketing. I just need to hire one. Now they go, oh, I believe that. Now, boom. Now they hire one and they blow up. That information that just came out of your mouth helps somebody.
And that was a shortcut.
I know, but you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you're what you said.
And I also agree that there are shortcuts, and I tell people that all the time when they say, "Oh, there are no shortcuts."
No.
There's a fucking shit ton of shortcuts, and that's new information.
Okay. But you're also, the way you explain information, that to me, in my mind, is a 1 year, 2 year process. You're bettering yourself and you're taking that 1 to 2 years to better yourself or educate yourself on something. You're reading a book, it's a couple months, whatever.
It doesn't take a couple months.
You're wasting time.
It takes a couple months to read a book. Did you hear him?
It takes a couple
Dude,
months.
you live on the ocean, man. Why don't you go out there every morning?
I do.
Whether you meditate or whatever you do.
I don't. I drink a coffee.
Yeah, you go out
I
there,
look
grab a
outside.
coffee, and read 10 pages of a book. And you'll be done with that book in a week.
No.
Yeah, you would.
It's 300 pages in a book, dude.
Well, there's 180 pages in a book, a normal book.
Well, I'm just
There's
letting
300
you know.
pages in a novel. Don't be reading fucking novels.
I'm not, but like, dude, if someone's
You probably picked up a romance novel one time.
I
and
did
then-
read-
and
I
then
did
got
read,
scorned, and now you hate books.
no Power, 48 Laws, Robert Greene. I read that. It was pretty good.
That's a thick book.
Thick book, but it it was good, but it didn't teach me anything I didn't already know.
Did it confirm?
It confirmed, yeah.
See, so it made you a little more certain, a little more confident.
It made me realize that I do need enemies, yes.
Because I've read books and I thought garbage. I don't agree. And then I've read books and we're like, dude, that's freaking slick. That's smart. I always believed the same thing. I just didn't know how to say it like that. That's a smart way of saying it. Books are good, is all I'm saying.
I think the fear is, at least for me, it's more from like a stealing content, like having a thought that's someone else's thought and it's plagiarism. So I rather not listen to anybody's advice. I rather just have my own feel and just know that it came out of my mouth instead of saying, oh, well, that's someone else's line. That's,
Well, have you ever heard this line? Because this is a line that a lot of people have heard.
yeah, pieces for nieces.
No. If you don't sacrifice for what you want becomes the sacrifice.
It's just the worst line I've ever heard in my life.
That's fucking gold.
Explain it to me. You just did a palindrome.
If you don't sacrifice for what you want,
Okay.
meaning if you don't make the sacrifices to get what you want becomes the sacrifice. So in other words, you either sacrifice for what you want or what you want is the sacrifice. You're sacrificing either way.
Let's put something in this. I want to have a number 2 cheeseburger at In-N-Out with the buns. Sacrificing.
Yeah, you're sacrificing your gut,
So the
your
equation
appearance,
on the other side. So give me that
and your
second
health
part.
perhaps. Who knows? I like In-N-Out burgers. I might go get one with you.
No, you can't do that. You're
Not for
you're
4 months.
You're a slave to the system.
I'm a slave right now to the system. But it's not to the system, it's to me, bro. You know why? Because I need to prove to myself that this little bitch voice in my head that says, dude, you're loaded. You got a wife. Who cares if
Yeah.
you got a little extra chub? I fucking care.
Listen, I'm not.
And I'm
out
going to
here
get rid of it, and I'm going to do it just for one reason.
because I'm your enemy.
No, so I can fucking feel like I deserve more. Because quite frankly, dude, I think it builds your self-worth when you do hard shit and you put up with stuff and you get through it. It builds your self-worth, and in order to build my net worth, I strongly believe I have to build my self-worth. And like my self-worth has got me to where I'm at. A lot of people called it conceit and arrogance, and it's not any of that. It's belief in myself.
Yeah.
But my self-worth is what got me here, and I've been here for about 3 years, 5 years. Like It's just I'm just kind of staying right here, and it's like, dude,
Well, why can't you level up? You think you need to have a six-pack?
I think I need to increase my value, my self-worth. In other words, I don't think deep down mentally, dude, and subconsciously, we're recording everything. I've procrastinated 1,000 times. I've rationalized why going to the gym was not a good idea, when in reality, it is a good idea. Health is a good idea. That is the only body you're ever going to get. You should take care of that motherfucker way nicer than you take care of cars. There's people that will take care of their cars in the garage meticulously, but then go shovel down a bunch of shit and literally ruin the only vehicle they've got.
I'm not saying don't work out. I like working out. I like being healthy. Obviously, I'm smaller, so it's easier for me. My metabolism's different. But what I am saying is that you're going to die anyways.
Might as well die fat.
No, I'm not saying die fat, but die at least in a place where you're at least having Fruit Loops before you die. You know?
Dude, why not have like kick-ass freaking
what,
egg
a power
whites?
bar?
Kick-ass tasty egg whites with nothing on them.
That's fine.
Or how about just some cod? Some baked cod.
I can't wait
with
to
no
be
tartar
I'm
sauce.
going to be at your funeral and be like, Bradley's last meal was baked cod.
You know, that's the only thing that does get me almost to lean back the other way is like, what if tomorrow I die and I fucking could have been eating all this time?
Yeah.
Because, dude, the food's good, but you know what's better? Self-worth. And that food is not, dude, a little bit of fucking mouth pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you eat some food, you're like, ooh, that's fucking good. That doesn't feel as good as being in shape.
Yeah.
Because I've been way, like, you'd have come here a month ago, dude, I was getting
big.
I was getting to where it looked like I was stung by a bee right here. Go look at some of my past videos. The videos are what make me think, like, God damn, dude, look at that neck starting to freaking, I got to get in shape. But now that I'm doing it, I've quit 1,000,000 times. I ain't quitting this time. That's why I'm willing to bet you. Why? Because ultimately, bro, it's going to build the self-worth to another level. I earned it. I'm gonna value myself a little bit more, and I think my net worth is going to increase.
And then how are you going to maintain it?
Because I don't think you can outperform your own self-image.
How are you going to maintain it? Because what I hear is you're at this level here.
I'm going to maintain it probably with a little more leaning towards your attitude.
Okay.
But once you're in shape, dude, you can eat a lot worse.
Yeah, but it's just going to go back.
Not if you exercise and stay really active.
I know, but listen to yourself. You're basically saying that you're how many do you go to the gym every day or every other day?
Twice a day.
Twice a day.
For 4 months.
So you're basically
after that I'm going to go once a day, 5 days a week.
Well, you're telling me you have to go every single day for the rest of your life.
No, I don't. That's just to get there, man.
So I'm asking you how
once
to maintain
you have more
it.
muscle, your metabolism increases. You burn more fat.
Listen, you
burn more calories.
You
think better.
I want
look
you
better.
to be. Listen,
you
I
feel
want
better.
You to be better looking.
You do better.
I want you to be better looking.
Is that even possible though? With the body sculpt? What else? We only went to. There's 4 more you said I need.
Well, no.
What else?
No, we're not gonna go there.
You can't think of anything else.
No, I got a lot of things.
Hey, dude, listen. I don't want to look like a Kenny Rogers. You know, I'd rather have a few wrinkles, be a little bit weathered.
Yeah.
You know, I've earned my stripes, than frickin' look like a,
same
peeled back frickin' plastic surgery.
But at some point, you just need to understand that we're at the age where we can look old and still sexy.
Still be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, again, as far as looking sexy goes, I think I cornered the market on that deal.
Well, that's why you're just stuck at this level.
Folks, hey, listen, I'd keep him here longer, but he's got to go to what is it, soccer?
Baseball.
Baseball. Here in town?
No, bro.
You're
Orange
just hopping
County.
a jet and going back?
Getting back.
Folks, you flying private?
Why are you asking these weird
Well,
questions?
because why ain't you on Southwest, motherfucker?
I'm humble, bro.
Huh?
I'm driving back.
Oh, you drove up?
Yeah.
Oh, right on. What kind of car?
My buddy. Toyota Tacoma.
What kind of car do you have?
Toyota Tacoma. I ordered Roma.
A Ferrari?
Yeah.
Okay. You live on the beach. You drive a Roma. You
I don't
rub
drive
elbows.
it yet. It's being built in.
You rub elbows with all the celebs. You got a Rolodex to choke a horse. You got frickin' celebmagazine.com. You got frickin' RMC.
Richie Media Corp.
Yeah.
And I got a lot of.
How's that humble?
It's very humble.
You should give it all away. To me, in fact. And
No.
you just be humble. Go eat. I'll buy you all the steaks and cigars, and you don't have to do shit.
No, but I do want to invest in Lightspeed.
You can gain weight and just look like a wart.
I want to invest in Lightspeed. You're going to give me some points for RMC, and then we take this thing to like really call it Lightspeed, like not just the name. Like,
Well,
let's
dude,
blow it up.
hey, if you can help me, I'm wide open.
Dude, I can help you easy. Like, you're already there, bro. You just got to believe in yourself. Like the same stuff you're telling everybody else, actually listen to yourself.
Maybe I'm not worthy because I'm not in shape. Maybe
No,
I'm not worthy.
No, that's not true. It's because you want to read books like a prisoner.
So instead of reading books, fuck the books.
Look in that fucking mirror and say, I'm Brad motherfucking Lee. Like, dude, what's your problem? I came all the way from Vegas to see you.
You're a funny son of a bitch, dude. I need you like as my manager and my coach.
No, you need to be.
Call me every morning and say, Brad, go get him.
I'm saying, dude, you can't afford me, but I think someone can afford you. Some Abu Dhabi prince. It's going to be like, hey, this guy's cool.
Well, dude, make that connection. Folks, you guys want to follow this dude? At Nik Richie. That's with a K. NIKRICHIE. Where can they get your book?
Amazon.
Sex, Lies, and the Dirty
But-
on Amazon.
But I just want to make it very clear. I pivoted, so don't DM me or blow me up asking if you can get off this website. That life is over. We're going into a new phase of Nik Richie where we're going to be in that billionaire world.
If people want to invest with you, can they DM you? Like, I get a lot of serious
Yeah, of course.
badasses following
I'm
me.
in pre-seed right now, so I'm trying to raise 2 million pre-seed. Series A is going to be around 10 million, and then Series B, I'm going to try to go for 50. So I will tell you this: I've never lost. So, and that's because of my acronym. That's because of the relationships I keep, the friends I have. I surround myself with ultimate business winners, great fathers, just great people, great relationships, and my best friends have been my best friends forever. So when they stick with me, I stick with them, you know. And I live like you, authentic, dude. No anxiety. You tell the truth, no matter what, dude. Don't, even when you're cheating on a chick, just tell her, dude. You know, like, be straight up. She's gonna dump you anyways. You're a douchebag if you're doing that regardless. So you might as well just be okay with it. Take the heat and just be a good person. It's not that hard to be a good person.
Own who you are, folks. Assuming ethics and integrity is a part of it.
Of course.
Dude, I appreciate you coming up here.
Let's go to In-N-Out.
Let's go follow this guy at Nik Richie. Go to his website, celebmagazine.com or thedirty.com, which is still cranking.
No, don't go to that site.
Don't go there. It's no longer.
It's no longer being moderated.
What about RMC? Where do they find more about
RMC,
that?
you could. We're doing an app, so RichieMediaCorp.com. But the reality is we're gonna have a lot in 4 months. I'm gonna come back here, and we're gonna have a lot more to share.
And just for the record, today, no matter when this thing drops, is what? May 4th. May 4th. May, June, July, August, September. No, May, June, July, August, September. Yeah, September.
You're the only person I know that is trying to gain a body after summer.
September 4th, bro. I'll see you here. Bring my fucking G. Till next time, kids, keep it real.
Dropping bombs with the real Brad Lee. Subscribe now.